What is enough
What
is,
enough?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's all kinds of literature on that, so you can go and find what the big boys say. I've also found that it varies across who you're talking to. And what I use as a rule of thumb is, when do I start to see patterns I can rely on? So one way I think about it is that if I dip in and I get this information from 20 people, and I see maybe what looks like a pattern, that's a very small sample, but I see what looks like a pattern. If I go and do another 20 people, will that pattern look the same? So in other words, back to the fun question, if people start to define what fun is, and I see that out of these 20 people, half of them say everyone was so nice to me and I felt so welcomed, and then 5 people said, oh, it was the things I got to touch and do, and then there was a smattering of other things. If I drew out another 20 people, would it be roughly the same breakdown? Or I like to say same picture, because I see it as a curve or the charts, and I see, does it look like the same shape? So that means that you need enough that you start to be sure that the shape is consistent. So if I do 20 and then I do another 20, chances are that shape of the way the data plays out is not going to look the same. I'm going to get on this 20, half of them just love the way they were treated. And on the other one, it wasn't that it was a problem, but everybody mentioned something else because maybe something else was going on during that 20 people. So then if I have those 40 and I go get another 40, maybe the shapes start to look the same. Does that make sense? So for me, it's not a definitive number. They usually say, I mean, supposedly you have to have 10 to run a t-test or a statistical test, but I think that's too few. So I'm just not comfortable with tiny, tiny numbers.